Hey guys, what is going on? So sorry for not making a video in a while. I have ordered plenty of smartphones, but due to the riot in Hong Kong, it's all being delayed, all the shipments, everything. So for now, since we are reaching the end of 2019, I'm going to show you 3 of the best flagships 2019 had to offer. So here we have the 11 Pro Max, OnePlus 7 Pro, not the 7T Pro, and the Note 10 Plus. Now, what do all of these phones have in common? All of these phones came out in 2019, and all 3 of them is the best each company had to offer. Now, just because the year is ending doesn't mean these are going to be obsolete or irrelevant or anything. This may be the last iPhone with a full notch, but that doesn't mean people are just going to stop using it as soon as the new iPhone is out. And especially this OnePlus, like people are still using the OnePlus 5Ts, 6Ts. So I think this is going to stick around for a lot longer. And the Note 10 Plus, and they're probably thinking, oh, Samsung, only 2 years of updates. And let me just tell you what's wrong with that statement. Every Samsung device is going to get 2 major updates in its lifetime by Samsung. And those 2 major updates are just going to be Android upgrades. So it's not like after that second major update, the phone's not going to be supported at all anymore. It's still going to get bug fixes, security patches. It's still going to be updated and supported for years to come. How many years? I don't know exactly. All I can tell you is that the S7 Edge is still getting security patches today. So if you don't care about the latest version of Android, then any Samsung device would be just fine. I wouldn't buy anything older than the S7 just because the S6 is pretty much plagued of diseases at this point. And I got the international version here. This is the Exynos SM-N975F, so I can install custom ROMs, and in fact, I'm running a custom ROM right now. Let me show you. So as you can see, I just installed Dr. Keaton's Q02, and let me tell you, I love it. Now let's get to the point, alright? We have 3 flagships here. Which one is right for you? Alright, so if you're new to smartphones and you want to buy the best of the best, then I would say maybe the 11 Pro Max is mostly because of its user-friendliness. It's got everything someone could need. Alright, a good display, good battery life, good app support, good cameras, good software. This one is very user-friendly for noobs and people who don't really care about smartphones in general. So I would say, if you just want the best of the best, no dealing with anything stupid or something that you shouldn't be dealing with, then I would say the iPhone is your best bet. The only downside I would say for now is that iOS 13 is pretty buggy right now compared to previous versions of iOS. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's still usable, but it's going to be a bit annoying until Apple fixes this. But this, of course, it's just a temporary problem, so I wouldn't be too worried. Next, we have the OnePlus 7 Pro. I would say this is also pretty user-friendly, but the difference between the iPhone and the OnePlus is, of course, being Android. It has a lot more features. So if you want to learn and develop your skills in the Android community and just learn what you can do with an Android, then I would say this is a good bet as well. So we also have 3 cameras. Not as good as the iPhone, but I'd say they're pretty good too. And this phone is the coolest out of these 2, alright? You have the in-display fingerprint scanner. It's super quick. You have the pop-up camera, which is pretty quick as well. You have Apple-like gestures. You have Apple-like haptics. And you have that full screen display. Because no notch, instead you get a cool ass pop-up camera. And some of you are going to say, oh, pop-up camera's not that reliable. It's going to hold you for years, alright? If your concern is durability, and if that's the main reason you're not getting this phone because it has a pop-up camera, then I would say that's a wrong way of thinking, because these cameras are more durable than you think. So this is basically an iPhone on steroids because it has iPhone-like features. You got iPhone gestures, the iPhone haptic engine. So if someone's coming from an iPhone, this is going to feel slightly similar except for the software, of course. And this is Oxygen OS, and this is a very, very fast OS. This is the fastest Android I have ever used. It's got great battery life, it's got great features, great processing power. It's ticking all the boxes, and this is the cheapest out of all of these phones. Alright, these 2 are going to run you about over $1,000. You can pick this up for $500 new today, 550. The point is it's very cheap. So this phone is basically looking like a steal right now. But what are the downsides? So I'll say the downsides are pretty small with this as well. No wireless charging, no IP68. I don't use wireless charging anyway. The IP rating, I really can live without it, especially due to the fact that it is watertight. It's just not IP rated because it's gonna make it way more expensive, which is true. And the dual speakers, while they are great, it's still not as great as the iPhone and Samsung. But that's just nitpicking at this point. Now let's move on to the Note 10 Plus. Now there has been some controversy about Snapdragon and Exynos and how Exynos is so much worse than the Snapdragon variants. And now, we're paying the same price and maybe even more for something that's worse than what the US is getting. And I admit, like, the Exynos isn't as powerful as the Snapdragon in terms of gaming mostly, but most people aren't even gonna notice or care. Look, I'm gonna do a quick speed run. It's kind of hard because the phone's wobbling a bit. Does that feel slow to you? I mean, granted, this is custom software and the animation speeds are set to 0.5, but this is how it's gonna run for most people. I have yet to come across a problem with gaming. Alright, all of my games run fine. Sure, maybe some games won't run 60 FPS. If you're a huge gamer, you probably shouldn't. If you're a huge gamer and you want a smartphone that's mainly for gaming, then maybe you should just buy a gaming smartphone. This is for the people who want every possible feature packed into a smartphone, and Samsung has been about this with their Note series for ages now. The Note series has always been about packing as many features as you possibly can into a smartphone. I mean, granted, we don't have a headphone jack anymore, but come on, we had to get rid of it sometime. I mean, I don't really care. I mean, sure, it's been missing for me in a few occasions, but it's not a deal breaker. I mean, none of these phones have a headphone jack, so we gotta start living without it. And not to mention the display. This has the best display out of all of these smartphones. Now, all of these phones have great displays, but if you want the absolute best, then the Samsung is gonna win. Now, features. This is all the features we have. I mean, it looks pretty clean, but we have display wallpaper themes. Samsung has its own theme store, which you can download themes, even change the icons, especially with One UI 2.0, which is what this is running. Not to mention we have that S Pen, and even though I don't use it every day, it does come useful when I want to copy certain text and take a certain screenshot of something. The S Pen is still pretty damn useful. So which smartphone is for you? Well, I cannot answer that, so I'm gonna tell you which I prefer, and that is the Note 10 Plus. And the reason I choose the Note 10 Plus over all of these phones, even though I love the heck out of these two phones, I choose the Note 10 Plus because of its design mostly. I love the boxy design, and I love the display and how the bezels are so small. The chin is even smaller than the iPhone nowadays. It has a punch hole, but it doesn't really bother me considering I have this dark theme, so you can't really see it most of the time anyway. Now, the things I like about smartphones the most: display, battery life, features, quirkiness, performance. Now, granted, the OnePlus 7 Pro has better performance. It's faster. It has more quirkiness. It has a pop-up camera, faster fingerprint sensor. I mean, they're both around the same speed, but it's going to be hard to test it now. I don't know, something about Samsung. There's just something about them that keeps making me want to switch. I guess it's the design and the features. And even though you're not going to need every single feature every day, then it's still nice to have them when you need it. And that is a quote from Jerry Rig Everything, which some of you guys are saying where I'm copying his intro. But it's a stock sound, anyone can use it. So if you have an unlimited budget and you want the best of the best with good custom support, then the Note 10 Plus would be your choice. But if you want good performance and you don't care about custom support, then just get the Snapdragon variant. Because Snapdragon variants you can't root. I mean, I think there's some that you can, but it's pretty complicated. If you want custom support, then it's best to get the Exynos. Now, for those who don't want to spend a shit ton of money on a smartphone, the OnePlus 7 Pro is a great choice today. It's blazing fast. It has a futuristic design, middle glass, so it feels premium. It has a pop-up camera, and as soon as you realize that it's pretty fucking cool, then you're gonna love it. Ever since the Vivo Nex S, I have loved pop-up cameras, so I'm gonna enjoy them until they're extinct. Now, for the person who doesn't care about smartphones and just wants the best possible smartphone, it's the iPhone 11 Pro Max. This thing has the best battery life out of both of these combined. It's user friendly. It also has a lot of features. It's easy to learn. So I told you guys what I prefer. I prefer the Note 10 Plus. Everyone has different preferences. And in this video, I'm trying to tell you which phone is for you. I hope this video helped you. Sorry for no budget phone reviews, but just know they are on the way. I've ordered multiple smartphones and they should be coming soon. Alright guys, stick around. If you want to be the first to see the reviews, click that bell icon, because you know how YouTube is messed up and all that. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. And I will see you in the next video, guys. Peace.